Hi there, this is Mini Concert 126. First song tonight is normally attributed to A.P. Carter of the Carter family, but it was actually written back in the late 1800s. In the style that was prevalent that day, they sang about orphans and people being homeless and stuff like that. I sell the morning paper, sir. My name is Jimmy Brown. Everybody knows me. I'm a newsboy in this town. You can hear me yelling the morning star, running along the street. I got no hat upon my head, no shoes upon my feet. Well, never mind, sir, how I look. Don't curse at me and frown. I sell the morning paper, sir. My name is Jimmy Brown. Well, I'm awful cold and hungry, sir. My clothes are patched and bent, but I wander about from place to place, my daily bread to win. Well, I sell the morning paper, sir. My name is Jimmy Brown. Everybody knows me. I'm a newsboy in this town. You can hear me yelling morning star, running along the street. I've got no hat upon my head, no shoes upon my feet. Well, my daddy died a drunkard, sir, I heard my mama say. Now I'm helping mama as we travel on our way. My mama often tells me, sir, there's nothing in the world to do but to get a place in heaven, Lord, to sell the gospel news. I sell the morning paper, sir. My name is Jimmy Brown. Everybody knows me. I'm a newsboy in this town. Well, you can hear me yelling morning star, running along the street. Got no hat upon my head, no shoes upon my feet. So that is Jimmy Brown, the newsboy. Carter family did make it popular back in the early 1900s. So next up is my only, at the moment, foreign language song. Dans mes rêves, j'entends une voix qui me dit ne pleure pas, quel dommage, mes yeux sont des sources claires. Dans mes rêves, j'entends une voix qui me dit ne souffre pas, quel dommage, mon homme n'est pas de pierre. Mais les voix de mes fantômes ne connaissent pas la douleur de l'homme. Pourtant les cloches annoncent toujours mon vrai destin. La 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 la. Dans notre maison fragile et grise, nous partagions les rêves de la vie, et la lune souriait sur l'innocence. Dans un monde plein de néant, même les promesses se sentent du vent, et le soleil parfois se perd dans les nuages. Ne me laissez pas partir, ne me quitte pas encore, pourtant les cloches annoncent toujours mon vrai destin. La 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 la. So the name of that song is Mon Vrai Destin, or My True Destiny, My True Fate. I heard that done by Peter, Paul and Mary on one of their albums. Next up is a song that talks about work ethic in Canada. I often take these night shift walks when the foreman's not around. I turn my back to the cooling stack and make for open ground. Far out beyond the tank farm fence where the gas flare makes no sound. I forget the stink and I always think back to that eastern town. I remembered back 6 years ago this western life I chose, when every day the news would say some factory's going to close. Well, I could have stayed to take the dough, but I'm not one of those. I take nothing free, and that makes me an idiot, I suppose. So I bid farewell to that eastern town I never more will see. It's work I must, so I eat this dust and breathe refinery. Well, I miss the green and the woods and streams, and I don't like cowboy clothes. But I like being free, and that makes me an idiot, I suppose. So come all you young fellows that been driven to the ground. This western life's no paradise, it's better than lying down. Well, the streets aren't clean and there's nothing green, the hills are dirty brown. But the government dole would rot your soul back there in your hometown. So bid farewell to that eastern town you never more will see. There's self-respect and a steady check in this refinery. Well, you'll miss the green and the woods and streams, and dust will fill your nose. But you'll be free and just like me, an idiot, I suppose. But you'll be free and just like me, an idiot, I suppose. So that's called The Idiot, and it's a song by Stan Rogers, who was a French-Canadian folk singer. And songwriter. He wrote that himself. Let's see. Next is a song by a fellow by the name of Eric Bogle. Wrote a lot of songs about World War I. This is a favorite in the Irish pubs. How do you do, young Willie McBride? Do you mind if I sit here by your graveside and rest for a while in the warm summer sun? I've been walking all day, I'm nearly done. Well, I see by your gravestone you're only 19 when you joined the great fallen in 1915. Well, I hope you died well, and I hope you died clean. Oh, young Willie McBride, was it slow and obscene? Did they beat the drum slowly, play the pipe lowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? Did you leave you a wife or a sweetheart behind? In that faithful heart is your memory enshrined. Although you died back in 1915, in that faithful heart are you forever 19? Or are you a stranger without even a fade into yellow in a brown leather frame. Did they beat the drum slowly, play the pipe slowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? Well, the sun now it shines on the great fields of France. The wind in the trees makes the red poppies dance. The trenches are long since under the plow. There's no gas, no barbed wire, and no guns firing down. But here in this graveyard, in this no man's land, the countless white crosses and mute witness stand. Man's blind indifference to his fellow man, and a whole generation that was butchered and damned. Did they beat the drum slowly, play the pipe slowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? Well, young Willie McBride, I can't help wonder why to those who lie here know why they died. Did they really believe when they answered the call? Did they really believe that this war would end war? Well, the sorrow, the suffering, glory, the pain, the living and the dying were all done in vain. For young Willie McBride, it all happened again, and again, and again, again and again. Did they beat the drum slowly, play the pipe slowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? So that is Eric Bogle's The Green Fields of France. The other one he did that I like is the band played Waltzing Matilda. I'll do that, not tonight, but later on. Now, this song was covered by a lot of people, most notably John Denver, but also even Sylvia. And it was inspired by the accident that the songwriter's young sister had. She was kicked in the head by a horse. She was fine, but he wrote this song and made it a bit more dramatic. Where the Walker runs down through the Carson Valley plain, there lived a maiden, Darcy Farrow was her name. Daughter of old Dundee, and a fair one was she, and the fairest flower that bloomed o'er the range. Well, her voice was as sweet as the sugar candy, and her touch was as soft as a bed of goose down. Her voice sang bright, eyes shone bright, eyes shone bright like pretty lights that sang in the night out of Yarrington trouble with that verse. Let's try that one again. Well, her voice was as sweet as the sugar candy, and her touch was as soft as the bed of goose down. Her eyes shone bright like the city lights that shine in the night out of Yarrington town. Oh, she was courted by young Vandermeer, and a fine lad was he, as I am to hear. He gave her pretty rings and lazy things, and they promised to be wed before the rains began to fall. But her pony did stumble, and she did fall. Her dying touched the hearts of the people one and all. And young Vandy in his pain put a bullet through his brain, and they buried them together as the rains began to fall. They sing of Darcy Farrow where the Truckee runs through, and they sing of her beauty in Virginia City too. At dusky sundown, to her name they drink around, and to young Vandy whose love was true. Where the Walker runs down to the Cowson Valley plain, there lived a maiden, Darcy Pharaoh was her name, daughter of old Gandhi, and a fair one was she, and the fairest flower that bloomed for the rain. So that's Darcy Pharaoh, and that's Mini Concert 126. Hope to see you next week, 7:30, Wednesday night.